My name is Hope Smith, a senior at Coastal Carolina University. I'm currently enrolled in a world literature course where we have been venturing to discover the world and unique cultures through journeys. We have discussed the Odyssey, Sinbad and the Seven Voyages, A Hero of Our Time, In a Small Place, and Exit West, to explore a world of unexpected journeys full of twists and turns. I will be introducing an outside work that is American-based, Jon Krakauer's Into the Wild. Into the Wild follows the true story of Chris McCandless on his expedition towards his great Alaskan adventure. As he broke away from civilization, he met people who helped him get his start and created a fellowship with him before he descended into the cold tundra of Alaska. He deserted his previous way of living by discarding materials, burning identification and money, and creating a new persona, not leaving a trace for his parents to follow. It isn't until his health is dwindling in Alaska as he was dying slowly, he left behind his identity and acknowledged who he was born to be despite who he became in the end.
This means that despite Chris McCandless creating the persona of Alex Supertramp, he recognized by the end that he should have led a life as Chris McCandless with people, which is why he left behind his name for somebody to know who he really was, and that regardless of leaving behind his identity in his hometown, he displayed he was wrong by discarding who he was.
In Krakauer's novel and film, the audience obtains information as to who McCandless was. He read consistently, found beauty in nature and literature. His readings were noted as writings from well-known authors like London, Tolstoy, Thoreau, and others. In one of McCandless' final acts, he decided to attempt at returning to civilization. It's noted that he referred to Leo Tolstoy's quote from Family Happiness. This quote from Leo Tolstoy says, "He was right in saying that the only certain happiness is life to live for others. I have lived through much, and now I think I have found what it is needed for happiness. A quiet, secluded life in the country, with the possibility of being useful to people, to whom it is easy to do good, and who are not accustomed to have it done to them. Then work, which one hopes may be of some use. Then rest, nature, books, music, love for one's neighbor. Such joy is my idea of happiness. And then, on top of all that, you for a mate and children, perhaps. What more can the heart of man desire?" McCandless went through these trials, trainings, and traveling to find that happiness is found with people, to share it among. He traveled across country and then made it to Alaska, in the end, which is where he took his last breath. Regarding training, McCandless had to prepare himself before going straight for Alaska. There were tests and exercises that he performed to test his endurance. I'm going to share some of my findings on these things that can help a person with individual PT, physical training, for building up the body to handle climbing big climbs like Kilamanjaro. My personal training, it first consists of, if you're really trying to climb something as big as Kilamanjaro, you must work out. That's really what it comes down to. You must get your body to have the ability to climb something that huge. Kilimanjaro is over 20,000 feet above sea level. That means you have to get your body accustomed to the elevation changes and climate. Getting outdoors does a lot to help this. When you decide that climbing is a step you want to take, exploring the outdoors and testing yourself, the next step is discovering an exercise routine that works best for you. My routine usually consists of researching different workouts that worked out in areas of my body that needed it, or strength and improvement that I also need for my body. A website that helps me out with finding these routines or exercises that I'm specifically looking for is bodybuilding.com. By using this website, there are articles and trainings that help work in whichever area is the weakest and explains the purpose of each exercise. I also use a variety of YouTube clips and Google to research different areas I'm trying to focus on depending on the day. To get your body used to a routine and in better shape, it is recommended to do 6 workouts a week to prepare for the Kilimanjaro or other big climbs. I aim to work out 6 days a week, 3 days of cardio, 1 of total body, 1 of core, and 1 leg day. But for some, that's not doable, so you may want to adjust and do 3 days with double up. With these, I try to do exercises that will challenge me, change me, but also build my endurance. Not only do you have to prepare yourself physically by working out, but you must also prepare yourself and your body to handle climate change and extreme conditions. A way to get your body accustomed to the outdoors is by getting outdoors. Going outside and doing some exercise outside can help with that. Going for a hike or a trail nearby can help with getting your body adjusted as well. And ultimately, this must happen, otherwise your body cannot become accustomed or familiar with the outdoors, which is essential to climbing big mountains. Because of the rigorous exercise, extreme changes, and different climate conditions. Everyone has their own story as to how they decided to follow a path that's completely different from what they've always done. My story is not that extreme or life-altering like some people's may be. Mine comes from a memory made from Hurricane Florence. My best friend and I went to the Coca-Cola factory in Atlanta, Georgia. If you've never been before, it's fantastic. I've been a couple times, but this time I went in, and in the beginning, they show a short film displaying Coke all over the world. There's a clip within the film that shows people who have rock climbed to the top of this beautiful mountain. Don't know which one it is, they don't mention it, but hey. And in the shot, it shows Coca-Cola, which after I watched the short film, I felt a rush of motivation and inspiration to climb. Go figure. I felt this desire to climb. I think something that may have discouraged me at first from this calling is, well, my friend judgments. Because I didn't think that my friends would approve, and even some people, when I expressed this interest, laughed and didn't take me seriously. It's become something I love to work on, and something I'm going to be able to prove people wrong when I accomplish this venture that excites me. I have learned not to let people stand in the way of a goal or a dream that drives you to do better, be better, or changes your life. The reason Into the Wild is great connecting piece for this journey is because I resonate with Chris McCandless to a level that I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who has ever believed or thought of some things I've thought. My personality contradicts stereotypes, which is a battle when people look at me and hear my opinions on the way I view societal views and values. I am not a protagonist for upgrades and all the time technology. I am more into personal engagements with people around me and surrounding myself with nature, culture, and things instead of always in front of a cell phone screen. McCandless was also like this because he discarded his old life full of materials that weren't needed to live off of, and he chose to live off the land and things he couldn't survive without. He was in tune with the world around him, beauty, and a world full of creativity and novels by great authors. I am also determined and hope to be as determined as Chris McCandless was. I'm determined to achieve my goal, but I hope to one day take my routines as seriously as Chris did. When he decided that he was giving up on his old lifestyle for a life he loved, there's beauty in the world, and I have yet to see all of it, but I want to see it all. I want to see as many beautiful wonders as I can in my life, and this is a start to be able to accomplish that. I don't want to give up because of my determination and because I don't want to miss out on all the beauty. As McCandless and Krakauer didn't give up on exposing the truth and finding answers through Chris McCandless's adventure, neither did Sinbad give up adventuring even after facing terrible fates until he found a reason to stay: love. I want to follow in these connections, fall more in love with the beauty of the world, and stay amazed by simplicity, solitude, and life. Thank you for coming to this video, and hopefully you got something out of it, and thanks for coming into the wild with me as I'm journeying to climb Kilamanjaro.